Hey there, fellas. Alright, so over here I've got myself these two lovely cars. They're almost even the same color, one of them being white, and quite beat up after taking part in a number of our experiments. The second one was also white in certain places, until it got roasted. Now we've literally received 1 million requests to... We've been sent this picture and asked to make a super wide car. As in, get a couple of cars approximately into this position, we'll cut maybe about 20 centimeters out of each car, weld them together side by side, bolt them down, sort the axles, the steering system, the interior and everything else. Now we need to make sure that the finished car makes it through the gate. I mean, it's still a bit cold to be doing such a project on the street, so we're gonna have to be keeping it inside. Now, most people make elongated cars, while we're gonna be making a wide body. Alright, let's go ahead and make us that super wide Lada. Okay, fellas, you asked where our baseball caps are at, and now we've finally got them. Look at this straight brim that you can get in black or red. The quality's fantastic. It'll keep your head warm in the winter, and cool in the summer, which makes it especially useful for a guy like me. Right, comrades? You'll find a link in the video description. Get yourself one of these and enjoy wearing it. Wide body conversion for Lada. Translation and voiceover by BMI Russian. Here's where we're at with this, fellas. We've taken just a tiny bit out of each car, and we've brought the two of them together to get an understanding as to what it's all going to look like. We've got them right next to our gate, and so far it seems that as soon as we weld them together, the whole thing will actually make it through. Right, so all we need to do is remove the wheels, remove the suspensions, then we weld the two together, and after that, wow, there is so much work to do. We still need to get the thing to steer, to brake, to drive. This is gonna be one hell of a job, but we'll get there. Let's carry on. We actually did it! Right here you see two Ladas welded together. They are in a bit of a weird position with the rear end in the air. The thing is that the rear diff is in the process of being welded. You've got two engines, both of which we can put to use. But for starters, we are going to try driving with just one of them. The steering came together wonderfully. And now when you turn one wheel, the other follows. I gather this will make things that much more convenient, with the possibility of having a co-pilot who will help you turn the wheels, making the process not as stressful. As for the cabin, well, it is unbelievably roomy. It's just like our vast motherland in that regard. You can easily throw a park bench in there. Now I should say that for now, we put some effort into welding it together, but we haven't done it all around yet, since we have yet to test the car's driving dynamics. Look at this hood, ain't it nice? So there's still the matter of testing how the car steers, handles, and all of that. Is it even possible to get a feel for its dimensions? So it all comes down to the testing, as it always does. It's impossible to get any sort of understanding without that. So as soon as we weld up that diff, we can try setting off. So another interesting thing I'd like to point out to you is that even after welding that diff up, we are still running 2 motors, 2 gearboxes, and 2 rear axles. The rear wheels aren't going to be connected. I mean to say that we move the axles right up against each other, chop the axle shafts, and there you go. One wheel is propelled by engine number 1, the second in turn by engine number 2. We're gonna finish welding everything up and do a few tests to see whether we drive on 1 engine or on 2 engines. We'll get to that shortly, but for now let's get back to work. My dear friends, as you can plainly see, we're growing the range of products that you can get on our online shop. One recent addition is this 3D puzzle in the form of a Cybertruck. This is a fantastic toy for people of all ages. That'll help you hone your motor skills, not to mention it's a great gift. Also, we've got these fabulous reusable face masks and a ton of different t-shirts. So the summer's coming and we've got a special offer for you. Get yourself 2 t-shirts and we'll throw in a 3rd one at absolutely 0 cost. You'll find all of the links in the video description. Head on over, get yourself something, and join Team Garage 54. Right, fellas, we're doing okay, and right now we're trying to make our way out, with the aim of figuring out how to drive this thing. For starters, we need to pick up a bit of speed, otherwise we ain't driving out in such a wide-ass car. So far it seems that the car does require 2 people to drive it. When you've got just 1 driver, it's barely able to move when propelled by just 1 wheel. On top of that, we've got ice and snow, meaning that traction is limited. And so we've decided to fire up both engines and carefully drive around using the 2 of them to make progress. Also the steering wheel, like I mentioned earlier, when you've got 2 people on duty, come on, help me out. That makes things a lot easier. You ready? First gear and let's go. Fantastic. I don't quite understand what it's up to. Oh my. You know what I think? From where I'm sitting, it feels as if I'm controlling just the 1 car, and the second one is just moving along next to me. In reality, we're both driving the same car. How do we turn this around? Why don't we turn right and drive into that pocket over there? Then we drive the other way? Why does my engine keep stalling? Say what? This seems to be going okay. Nice. And we're off. It's important that we synchronize our movements so that we turn left or right at the same time. Yo, why are you steering that way while I'm steering the other? Oh man, this is pretty cool. And my engine is stalling on me again. But okay. The momentum fires it right back up. So we're good. All right, we're already getting some laughs. Look at that. That guy's confused. He doesn't understand what's going on. Let's give him some room. What the? Why did you? We nearly took out that drain pipe. Oh, come on. We could clearly see it. We came very close. Was it that close? Yeah. Is there a place to turn around down there? Well, it's worth having a look. You can't really get a sense for this thing's size. These are some pretty spectacular ruts in the road. I'm sure we can make it through if we take it slowly. Oh, the wrong gate is open. I thought it was the repair shop. We could have gone in and asked the boys if they'll hook us up with an alignment. What can I say? This thing moves. Quite well, actually. Don't worry, we'll find a bit of grip and... What was that? Did something just fall off? Let's keep going straight. Will you make it? Of course we will. Stop. And let's go. And there we are. We can even put it slightly sideways. We almost did it. Oh wow, that was super cool. Did you see how we just flipped around? Exceptionally fantastic. Nothing even fell apart during that first drive. That's a good thing. Okay, we tried it out, and things went pretty well. The car didn't fall apart. It's keeping it together, the only problem being that it keeps stalling. But that's a matter of adjusting the idle, and that should be enough to get the engine running like it should. It's quite an interesting thing to drive. You constantly need to keep track of that corner, given how wide this thing is. The roads around here are narrow, and so the risk of hitting something is quite serious, and that's something we'd very much prefer to avoid. You would have seen us flip the car around, with one gearbox in first and the other in reverse. But ideally, we should leave these roads alone as not to ruin them, as they're part gravel, part asphalt, part concrete. We need to go to the test track. Prior to which, we need to work a bit on the exterior. At the very least, spray on some paint, lay on some bright colors to make the car stand out, as if it didn't stand out as it is. I mean, you saw how many people came out to have a look. And everybody was carrying a cell phone. Whatever, okay. That'll be all for this episode. Now make sure to subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss what's happening to it next. Watch, send in those comments and suggestions, give us a thumbs up. All right. Catch you later.